driver. So we go to Jamaica. It included this kind of VIP
beef patty package.
This expediting process through customs. So basically, like you get off the plane. And that's the only thing that sucks about flying is you have to have the mask on the entire flight.
Yeah,
and that's just 4 hours of just there. And I'm like, I can't imagine if someone was flying to Fiji or something where it's like 26
But the great
hours.
part about that is like now you're vaccinated, so you can get a mask that doesn't work.
Yeah. Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? Like
and they don't.
those
And it was
surgical ones that like just leave this completely wide open.
And a completely full flight. There's no more saving the middle seat open.
Right.
It's just pack them in because they're trying to make up the lost money, right? So we get this. Part of this package includes like, besides driving us from the airport, because it's like an hour and 20 minutes from the airport to where we're staying.
Yeah.
So they're like, we include
it's a donkey ride.
it's a burro. And so we're including that. And then, so they say, give us this thing. We land there. This woman, has the sign. She holds up our names, and she walks us. The line for customs is like 2 hours long. It looks like it's just hundreds of people snaked all the way going this way. They basically do like a fuck you guys, walk us right through everybody because this little thing that I think if you bought it separately, it would be like $60, which already would be worth it, So we go right through customs. They take us to this refreshment area that they give us some, just stupid finger foods and just some free drinks, right? While they go and call the hotel and figure out where the guy who's picking us up is and tell him to pull the car around for us.
Whoa.
It's like this door-to-door service that I was like, this is the greatest, and it's part of the airport. It's not even part of the hotel. It's like the airport offers this service, and you're like, the best $60 I would have spent had it not been included in this thing already. So,
wow.
So
would you have even known to buy that though?
Of course not. Of course not. But
where do you get something like that?
I don't know. I guess if you were booking through that airport, maybe that would be one of the 11 options where they're like, do you want to buy a bag? Do you want to upgrade your seat? And all that, which you probably just would have said skip, skip, skip.
Was it JCA?
What's
Jerk Chicken Air?
I just want to make sure the podcast listeners are done laughing. All right, you guys are caught up. You didn't need to pause it. We kept it. We let it go for you. So we get our driver. We get this guy. Love this guy. His name was Omar. And he's just just like the best kind of, exactly how you would picture a cab driver born and raised in Jamaica to be. Just giving us the tourism, elevation above sea level, explaining the island and what's kind of this and the kind of people that live here, the kind of people that live there. And we're driving through this whole thing, and they drive on the other side of the road there and stuff. So, and then, I'm not kidding, dude. 10 minutes into the ride, starts being like, so you got everything you need, man. And I'm like, yeah, we're just going to hang out at the beach. We're not going to do much. And he was like, cool. Do you need anything, though? And I was like, it's funny you say that because, Lewis was also in Jamaica. We were both in Jamaica at the same time. And Lewis told me that there is a legal dispensary that was a literally 3-minute drive from our hotel. And so I was like, but the laws kind of are they have to drop you off directly there. And then if you leave, you have to be accounted for just for contact tracing because there was a spike going on in Jamaica when we went in there. So there was from that day, we landed at 11 a.m. from 12 p.m. until 12 p.m. Saturday until Monday. It was kind of like a lockdown of sorts for them. So
you're
all the
making
businesses.
Me crazy, man.
I know you've just been waiting to work that in.
Yep.
And so
there's more.
I hope. I start going, there's a legal dispensary and, would you mind pulling off there and stuff? And instantly he's like, that weed is terrible. He basically is telling me it's terrible. You have to do a fake doctor's appointment. I couldn't for that long.
That weed is no good, boy. So you'd be better off getting from me cousin.
So immediately he just goes, I got everything you need, man. It goes in the dashboard at a red light and just was like...
A crab comes out playing the metal drums.
Yeah.
Just hands you a bag.
So he comes over, he gives me, he's like, gives me everything I need. And then, but the one thing he gives me was he tried to give me papers, but there was literally only one paper left, And I asked for an eighth and it was so much more than that.
Yeah.
And so he ended up pulling off at a gas station to get me papers, which is also so hilarious and trusting that he just left his running cab and he left us in the running cab and ran in and got papers for us.
Wow.
Yeah. So
you didn't smoke blunts for me?
Well, he didn't offer me blunts. He offered me papers. They smoke joints there a lot of the times.
I know, but I saw on Lewis's stories as he kind of like sexily looked into the camera that he was smoking blunts.
He's a phony baloney.
Yeah.
So whatever. So the guy gives us to where we're like already perfect. Like we're not even at the place yet. We already don't have to worry about weed. We got that all set up. We get there, and this place is just like here's the thing. They have 80 rooms total in this place.
80?
So even when it's packed, it's still only 80 rooms in the whole place. It's very small. This week that we're there, there's 20 people in the entire resort. So it is like pretty much hours and hours alone. Mm-hmm. So Omar pulls us up there. Immediately, the people come over. They know our first and last names. They're like greeting us. They walk us around the ground. Everyone is just like over the top. Customer service at an 11 out of 10, right? They come in and they're like, are you guys celebrating anything? And you know my scam, always anniversary. For some reason, little jet lag, little tired, panicked, said honeymoon. So now we just got to live that lie. Because also in the notes, I found out
I thought it usually was honeymoon.
Sometimes it's honeymoon. We go back and forth. But this time...
It's more effort, I guess.
Yeah, and it's more effort. And here's the thing. Erica put in the notes ahead of time that it was anniversary. But I jumped the gun and said honeymoon. And they were so nice they like didn't even call us on it. But now we have to live up that lie. And then I kind of undid it where I said it was like an anniversary moon where we got married right in late 2019.
Every
but couldn't
day is
take...
a honeymoon.
We were like,
us.
I was like, we got married right in late 2019 and we couldn't take our honeymoon because of COVID. So now this is kind of like a delayed honeymoon, but we've already been married a couple years. So
You're really a genius liar. That is like, that is so perfect.
Yes,
anniversary moon.
Alex, you're just not one for this world. Like Feeney and I just know how to spin yarn and make up lies on the spot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I would have thought of that exactly as well. What's funny is those people were like, we don't care.
Yeah. Well, they did make a nice little towel swan for us with rose petals that night. So,
nice. That's good.
So we go around, and that first night we go right to the beach. We hang out there. We get drinks on the beach. We start hanging out with the dude who was like the security guard there, who's so awesome. And it's so funny because he's like, he's about my age, I think, but he's Americanized in that he's like, we get Family Guy here, and we had like WWF growing up, so so we're bonding over like when we used to watch like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Speaking in a perfect patois, and then he's like, Lois. He just changes it as a Dynamite
he's like,
Family
you know about the Family Guy? You know the episode where Stewie comes in? He's the coolest dude. He's the coolest fucking dude. So we're hanging.
My word, Louis. Oh,
well, that was a great
okay.
Stewie.
That was okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I'm doing.
Okay.
For fear of getting it wrong.
So we have dinner that night or whatever, and then afterwards they have like a different entertainment thing every night. And the first night is like karaoke night. That's like the thing. And people are like, oh, you got to check out the karaoke night in this martini bar. So you're like, great. So we go to dinner. We go over to this martini bar. We're having some cocktails. And it's like, there's only 8 people in that bar, and like, so it's already like not everybody's gonna be doing karaoke. So the and we know this, the person who has to host the karaoke, if no one's doing karaoke, you gotta do karaoke. And this poor woman
have a sore throat.
Yeah, so she's belting it out, and what she's doing, which I thought was so fucking genius, instead of singing every song, she would sing a song, and then she would go back and like put on some music. She would just kind of play like, what do you guys want to hear?
Yeah.
And then play some music videos and stuff. And because DMX had just died, she was playing DMX, and like, as a person, because we walk in and they're like, Michael and Erica celebrated their honeymoon from New York. They were like, DMX.
As you walked in?
Yeah, as we walked in. So we're ready. Like, and also I've been drinking, so it's taking every ounce of me to not like do DMX at karaoke.
Yeah, you should have. You could have gotten away with it.
I was so close. And
as a New Yorker, I think that's okay.
Yeah, so I am like, I'm trying so hard not to sing and stuff. And so people are all singing, and they're like, find a song. So I do that thing where I've always in my head go, if ever I get picked for karaoke, I have these 10 songs I could choose from that'll blow the doors off. And then every time they were like, what karaoke song do you want to do? That list is gone. I've never known a song. I don't know any words to any songs. I don't know anything. And I spend, I'm not kidding, like the next hour on my phone, like looking at Spotify, being like, what's a good song? What to pump people? And they're like, only 20 minutes left to carry out. Mike, do you have a song? And I'm like, I'm looking. I'm like panicking, and I'm drinking more, and I'm trying to find a song, and I eventually decide.
The answer is in this cup.
yeah. So eventually I have enough drinks, and I go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do Billy Joel. I'll do some Billy Joel. That'll fucking get people going. It's a nice, fun song. There were people from Massachusetts there and stuff like that. And so like there's some stadies that are gonna that are interested. So I'm like, I'll do fucking Billy Joel. I'll do Billy Joel. So I walk over there, and I don't know what happened, but I was like, I had Billy Joel at the corner of my mouth, and instead I just did Rick Astley. I just was like, she's like, what do you want to do? And I go, Rick Astley. And she's like, all right, what song? And I was like, Never Gonna Give You Up, obviously.
Like, it took you 57 minutes to think of that?
Here's the thing. I Rick rolled the crowd, and they were mostly older crowd. They were like, for the most part, people were in like their 50s and stuff. We were the younger people there by like a good margin, and it fucking crushed. I mean, it was, dude, I was holding court just doing, we're no strangers to love. I
don't know why every time I think,
do I?
I mean, that's great.
That's when you want to make your Irish goodbye.